Blessings and peace to you. This is SB Favor Thinking Podcast, and my name is SB Favor. How are you doing today? It is Wednesday, October 20th, 2021. Another wonderful day and another day to be thankful. And as I always say, if you focus on what is good, then you can project something good to happen. I have to always say that at the introduction because it is so important to just focus on what is good, because your thoughts can produce your reality. So focus on what is good. I hope that everyone is having a good day, because it's a beautiful day. It's a wonderful day, and we all have something to be thankful for. If you're out there traveling about, make sure that you keep yourself safe, because this pandemic is still going on. People are still becoming ill. So please keep yourself safe. Be mindful of that. And if you would like to donate to the podcast, you can donate at $ at SB Favor on Cash App. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of your donations. Jaki Draper is here. And in this episode, the topic is the power of stepping into change. All of us experience some type of change sometimes, and change it could be foreign because you don't know what to expect. And then sometimes many of us, we want change, but we don't know how to implement the plans for the change to take place. So we're just going to talk about that. How are you today, Jaki?
I'm doing wonderful. I just got done with my walk. I just walked for 2 hours.
Oh, that's
beautiful weather, sunny, and it was 73 degrees out there. It was really nice.
Awesome. You just encouraged me to make sure I get my workout in today. I don't always walk. I do a little bit of everything. So, but I'm going to make sure I do that, because wellness is everything to the body. So be encouraged about that too, listeners. But we're going to talk about the power of stepping into change. When you think about change, it's something that's foreign, as I mentioned a minute ago. It's something that's foreign, or it's something that you just want to just make different in your life. You know, the power of stepping into change is something that you do going forward, aligning yourself with actions to experience the result you want to see. So, Jaki, let me ask you this. When you think about change or implementing plans for change, what comes to your mind personally?
Well, I love change. I love the feeling, but it is kind of like an adrenaline type feeling. It's this fear of the unknown,
mm-hmm.
and which produces that adrenaline feeling, the excitement, and then for some reason I'm all in for the change, and then all of a sudden, I guess I get that adrenaline high to the point that it stifles me. Like I get stuck.
Oh, wow.
And afraid to take that final step.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm all in, and then boom, my brain starts going, oh, what? No, we're not doing this.
Wow. We've all experienced that.
Yes.
Yeah. I've experienced that. I've experienced that many, many times. Many years ago, I was actually afraid to speak in public. You know, I was in my 20s, and if somebody told me to come up and take the microphone, I would look around like, who are you talking to? You know, I was one of those people like, no way. But, you know, to understand what we have to do in order to walk into change and to not have that stagnation, so to speak, is to change our thought life. You know, first and foremost, I would say for me, 3 words come to mind: faith, confidence, and courage. I have to have the belief in myself, which is faith in God, because God wants us to believe in ourselves. And then confidence, which is the assurance that I can do it according to how I think. And then courage. We have to have courage to do whatever it is we want to do, and not be afraid, not be fearful, because if we really want to see the result that we anticipate, then we have to project it, and we have to think it. You know, we have to foresee it happening, and without the interference of the wrong thinking, because the wrong thinking, it just gets in the way. And I think that if you sit down and think about something long enough, you will actually talk yourself out of doing it, you know?
Right.
So you can't overthink it. You just have to do it. You know, I wrote down a couple steps, but I'm not going to give those steps out yet. The steps to walk in the change, the power of walking into the change. I wrote down some steps for that. But let me ask you this, Jackie. When you're about to actually do the thing you want to do, you're saying that you just, in that moment, you actually tell yourself not to do it, or you just, tell me about what happens.
Well, I mean, it depends on what the change is. You know, there's all kinds of things that happen. You have new jobs, or you have new personal goals, or, you know, personal relationships, whatever the case may be. But
Right.
I mean, in the beginning, it's exciting because of something new. I get that adrenaline rush, and then there, all of a sudden, I hit a wall because I get these fear of failure, fear of being vulnerable, fear of judgment, you know, and then I have all this. So there's fear of all these external things, like the failure, judgment, and vulnerability. That's all what I'm putting on other people.
Oh, wow.
But then I have my own self-criticisms as well. Am I good enough to do this? And can I really succeed at this? If I put myself out there, am I going to, you know, fall on my face? And, you know, how am I going to feel then? You know, is this going to be something that I want to do? Am I capable of it? You know, what if I'm not good enough at whatever it is that I'm going to do? I expect perfection in so many things in my life. And,
Yeah.
And I know rationally, I tell myself that, you know, I shouldn't expect perfection, that,
Right.
you know, I'm human and I'm allowed to fail, and I'm allowed to say, okay, this didn't work out. I don't have to do this. I can move on and do something different.
Right.
Or what have you. But I guess I wrestle with my own inside. I'm thinking, you know, actions have consequences, but so does inaction. The not taking that step, the not taking the leap of faith.
Right.
That inaction, it has consequences also.
It absolutely
and like
does.
people always say, you regret the things, at the end of the day, you will regret the things you didn't do, not the things that you did.
Exactly. Well, you know, first I want to say this to you on a personal note. You are very intelligent. You have a stunning way about yourself. And don't forget that. You know, you have the ability to do whatever it is you want or need to do, because that's what you put out, your energy, your spirit. That's what I feel when I talk to you, that you can do anything. You can. You know, you have that type of aura where you just you put out a good vibe, the good vibe, Jackie. So
Right.
So don't forget that. You know, you're awesome in your own right. You know, and so think about it like this: when you're about to do something, think about what you have to offer based upon who you are. Don't even think about the things that's not important. Think about what you have to offer. It's only one you in this world. Everything else is a reflection of you, right? Your children, your family, but there is only one you. So don't ever forget that. I just had to say that to you. But to respond to everything that you said, you know, I think we all at some point or another have, you know, reasoned within ourselves, and we, you know, struggle with our the thoughts. But I just want to really, really emphasize that if we focus on just believing in ourselves and focus on, like I said, faith, confidence, and courage. Don't overthink anything. Just do the thing that you say you're going to do. Don't say you're going to do it and never start it. Don't say you're going to do it and never show up. Don't say you're going to do it and don't plan it. Plan what you want to do and just do it. You know, like I said, I used to struggle with, you know, not not wanting to speak in public. But now speaking in public is just, that's me. That's who I am. But I'm going to give out the steps real quick about the power of stepping into change. The power of stepping into change, as I mentioned earlier, is, going forward, aligning yourself with actions to experience the result that you want to see. First and foremost, when you want to step into change, you want to first pray. And I say pray and meditate because you want God's help. And I say that because a lot of times in my life, if I didn't pray, I would fall on my face. And so I pray because I believe that God, he has all powerful ability and he's able to help us. And so when we can't help ourselves, he helps us. So number one, pray because God will give you help. Number two, don't overthink it. Just make the plan and implement it. And the results you want to see, focus on it. Focus on the results you want to see. Don't overthink it, though. Just focus on the results you want to see. Stay motivated, projecting good things in the change, even when it's uncomfortable. Project good things in the change, no matter what the change is. Jackie, you mentioned relationship, school, goals, whatever it is. You can stay motivated, projecting good things in the change because change is good. Number 4, maintain and practice the thoughts daily according to what you see, what you want to see, Don't allow yourself to think the wrong thing. Practicing and maintaining good thoughts is a daily exercise. And as you exercise maintaining thoughts according to the results you want to see, then eventually what you want to see is going to manifest right in front of you as you apply what you want to see. Also, number 5, stay away from fear. Anything that gives you fear in your thoughts, conversations, because everything you meditate on, everything you think about, and your conversations, and even the things that you take in, whether it's information, something that you're watching, stay away from fear. Anything that gives you fear, anything that will stir up fear. Lastly, number 6, evaluate your attitude daily to stay focused on going forward and not backwards. Be progressive in your thinking. And once again, stay focused on the results you want to see. Faith, confidence, and courage. Just remember those 3 things. But most importantly, your thoughts. Your thoughts play a key factor in staying focused every single day. So, Jackie, you have any questions about what I just mentioned?
No.
What's that deep breath about?
Well, how do you, when you, okay, let's just take, for instance, that I want to have my own podcast.
Right.
And quite literally, the only next step I need to do is choose a software.
Right.
It's so ridiculous, but me not choosing a software is literally the only thing that's in my way.
Right.
Because I know that once I pick a software, then I have to do this.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason not to do it.
That's right.
But I start getting these feelings like, who cares what I have to say? What do I have to say that's so entertaining that somebody's going to want to listen to me? How am I going to come up with something interesting to say twice a week forever?
Because
it just becomes a little overwhelming, and I tell myself, just pick a frickin' software and just do this shit. What the hell?
Well, listen, let me say this to you. Once again, it's your thoughts. If you are trying to, whenever you are trying to accomplish something, this applies to all of us. I don't care what you've done in your life, because anytime you try something new or you want to do something new, the first thing you have to do is change how you think. If you work on your thoughts pertaining to the thing you want to do, then what happens is your feelings will align with your thoughts. The reason why you have certain feelings is because your thoughts are narrating what you feel. They match. In other words, if you think happy, even when something wrong happens, if you think happy, then what happens is you get a happy feeling. Our feelings and our thoughts, they narrate each other. They match each other. They drive in the same car together. That's why I always say focus on what is good, because your thoughts are the control center of what happens in your actions and in your emotions. When you focus on something long enough, you become what you think. You become what you focus on. You literally becomes that. There's a scripture in the Bible that says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. It's a simple scripture. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. What you focus on, you become. If you lift weights 7 days a week and you lift every day consistently and you practice focusing on getting the result you want to see pertaining to your body, guess what? You're going to see the results slowly over time. And that same rule applies in our thoughts. When we focus on the things we want to see versus the thing we do not want to see, we are giving power to the thing we want to see or manifest. When something is uncomfortable, you could be in the midst of a change where it's really uncomfortable. If you're focused on getting through it and functioning in it at your best self, then guess what? Then you will be able to overcome being uncomfortable. For an example, when my mother passed last month and my daughter was getting married, the wedding was scheduled. Okay, we canceled the wedding 3 times because of COVID. The wedding was scheduled. Everything was, working out according to plan. My mom gets sick. She passed away 1 week before the wedding, right? That was a place I was so uncomfortable, because now in that moment, I thought to myself, okay, I got to go to this wedding. I walked my daughter down the aisle. I walked her down the aisle. I had to be there for her. I had to make sure everything was running smoothly, concerning my daughter. And on top of all of that, I had to communicate with my siblings to plan a funeral. I was uncomfortable in this space of change, in this space of, I call a small chaos, right? So I couldn't sit around and think about it. I had to just do it without thinking about it. And even when thoughts came to my mind, well, I can't do this, or maybe I should just change everything around, or whenever something came to my mind that was not needful, I had to tell myself, nope, I'm not going to entertain this, because this is what needs to be done. It needs to be done. What I had before me, it needed to be done. I needed to get to Dallas to my daughter's wedding, and then I needed to get to New Jersey. So I'm traveling from one state to the next. And it's uncomfortable. So I'm explaining all that to say that this shift, this change in my life, not having my mother present, all these different things going on. In all of that, I had to tell myself, I can still make it. I can still be successful. I can still be confident. I can still be courageous. I can still be the woman of faith in this moment. I had to tell myself that. So what I'm saying to you is take faith, confidence, and courage. There is something more you have to practice and stand on to do the thing you want to do. And as you implement your plans and you walk in what you say you want to do, Then you practice staying on target every single day. Is that sufficient?
Yes. Now, the faith, confidence, and courage. Yes, I think that's wonderful. That's amazing. Did you like? I don't know. I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
In these moments that you get this overwhelming fear, like your brain starts shouting out all the negative things that could happen, or what have you. Do you have like a little mantra that you pull on to say, like, you block those negative things out and say this positive thing? But sometimes in those moments you kind of feel, let it overwhelm you. You know, you start thinking and you're just like, and I know, and I do talk to myself quite a lot. And so, but you know, I am really good at talking myself off a ledge compared to a lot of people. And, you know, like whenever I get in moments, but I feel like I need something. I guess I just have to figure something out. Just, I need something to tell myself like the same thing over and over again when I start to feel that way. Because in other situations, I do have things that I tell myself, you know, I guess, that are in, I don't know, other things. But for some reason, this one thing, I have a hard time.
No, you can't. You can't let it.
So, I don't know.
You can't let it get that far. In other words,
right.
when you get a thought, right? When you get a thought in that moment, it's a practice. It's a practice that you become stronger and stronger in. When you get a thought, first and foremost, when you get a thought, you have to recognize, okay, this is the wrong thought. Right. And what do? Honestly, I pray. I pray a whole lot. When I get a wrong thought, and if I feel like something is trying to go too far and it's trying to overwhelm me, I'm not going to sit. I'm not going to sit 20 minutes just thinking the wrong thing. If you get a thought and you know you keep getting that same thought repetitiously, then that means, I'm just keeping it real, you need to pray or you need to go into some type of meditation immediately. Because if you let it go too far, then that thought, it'll just push you further and further and further away from the place you need to be in your energy, in your spirit. You know, a lot of people, sadly, they just allow their thoughts to just run rapid and they just think all kinds of things. That's why you got people that just accuse other people and they say all kind of crazy things to one another because people don't manage their thought life. And so when we are trying to implement change in our life or function in change, it first begins with how you think. It first begins with being conscious in that moment of who you are. Not everything on the outside, everything on the inside. Being conscious of who you are. Being conscious of your attitude. Being conscious of your surroundings pertaining to what you need. Not other people and other things. When you are conscious of who you are, what you're thinking, then you can have a better perception on everything that's externally to deal with change. But, you know, it's just very, very important to be conscious of who we are and what we're thinking. And so in order to function in change or implement change or do something that we want to do, it starts with how we think. You know, if I tell myself, if I wake up in the morning and I tell myself, okay, this is the kind of day I'm going to have, and I make a plan. And if I look at that plan throughout the day, I'm able to stay focused on that plan. But if I allow all kinds of distractions to come in, that means I'm not in the moment. That means I'm not paying attention. And so your thoughts play a part in just being totally conscious of who you are, what you need to do to function and change or to implement change. You know, when you think about habits and how we form habits is just actions that we repeat over and over and over. Well, if you practice the habit of having good thoughts about yourself, good thoughts about environments, good thoughts about people, just good thoughts, then what happens is when you get a bad thought, it becomes something foreign to your mind, to the space in your mind.
Right, right.
And so
that makes sense.
Yeah, and so it's a practice that is progressively being perfected, and as time goes on, you become stronger and stronger and stronger, as time go on. But I would just encourage people to pray when you have feelings and thoughts and you want to have a better thought life. I would encourage people to pray, because I'm going to tell you something right now. There was a time in my life where I thought the wrong things, and out of thinking the wrong things, I did the wrong things. And I'm not a perfect person by far, but what I'm saying is I struggled with different things, and I have seen the power of prayer. I have seen how being more conscious, in the moment, living in the moment, and just being more conscious, it's helped me to think more clearly, to have a better perception about things. And also it's very humbling if I agree with something I shouldn't agree with. Sometimes I'm quick to say to myself, wait a minute, that's wrong. Earlier in the week, I had a bad experience with someone in a conversation. And in the midst of that exchange, it was discouragement. This individual was trying to discourage me. And I told myself, when I felt that discouragement, I said, no. I said, no. No, I'm not going to take the invitation of discouragement, because I can't afford it right now. And the reason why I say I can't afford it, because I'm still grieving the passing of my mother, and I have to keep my spirit lifted. I can't be walking around all down and out and just woe is me and looking at the ground. No. The sun is shining. I got to look up.
Right.
So, but just can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Oh, so yeah, just be encouraged to just practice good thoughts. And I just believe that as you do that, the thing you want to see and change, you will be able to walk in it and experience the goodness of it. But everything starts with how we think.
Right.
Everything, we cannot think that if we are just basking in all the wrong thoughts, that we're going to see something good. You know what I mean? I think that, right. Thoughts are forces, good forces and bad forces. That's how I describe thoughts. They're forces. And so if you take in a good force thought, you will manifest good behavior. If a person takes in a bad force of thought, then they manifest bad behavior. How many times a person can look at the next person and say, who does she think she is?
Right.
You know what I mean? And then you see the manifestation of their thought on their face, because they're thinking the wrong thoughts.
Right.
Don't even know the person. Just seeing the person one time and just one thought can create a barrier for that person not to be friendly because of a bad thought. So the same thing applies to change. When we are trying to bring about change in our life, and when we're trying to function and change that's foreign or something we've never done, we have to think about it according to the results we want to see and who we need to become. That's what thoughts are. Thoughts become who you are.
Right.
If you think about it long enough, that's who you become. If you think about it long enough, that's what you will do. A lot of people talk about manifesting. Well, guess what? If you think about something long enough, if you dream about it, if you imagine it, you see yourself doing it, And then guess what? It will become your reality just by seeing yourself do it. That's what you have to do. Like I said, I struggled with speaking in the public. And then all of a sudden I said, you know what? I got to see myself doing it. I see myself standing on the stage. I see myself singing. I was afraid to sing in public. I would sing in the shower and sing all over the house, but I would never sing in public. And then all of a sudden, I started singing in the public. And so now if somebody passed a microphone to me, it's like, no problem. It's not even a second thought. It's like, okay, no problem. So what I'm saying is everything is about the thoughts, but faith, confidence, and courage is the key thing to walk in change. The power of stepping into change has everything to do with our thoughts. No matter what it is in your life. Now that my mom is no longer here in the earth, me and my siblings, it's a change in our life. It's a change that's foreign to us. So we talk about it and we say to ourselves and among one another that we have to move forward. We have to move forward in our thinking. We have to move forward in our actions. And we have to practice it one day at a time with faith, confidence, and courage. And prayer is the key factor. If you want help from God, you got to pray. And that's what he wants us to do, because we were not created to operate independently of him. He's given us free will, yes. But to receive help from God, look, I'm going to tell you something right now. I need his help, because I do need his help. I can't do everything in myself. There's no way. Prayer, it helps us. So, do you have anything else you want to share, or anything else you want to...
No, I guess when we're done, I'm going to pray. I'm going to make a plan. I'm going to visualize my plan and implement it.
Yes, there you go. That's
with
right.
Faith, confidence, and courage.
That's right. And we have to keep...
I'm over here taking notes while you talk.
That's a blessing. You know why? Because what I just said, this is what I'm practicing. I'm not just saying this to everybody just to be saying it. This is what I'm practicing every single day. This is what I get up to every day. When I open my eyes, this is what I'm thinking about. I have to practice faith, confidence, and courage. And I have to practice maintaining good thoughts to walk in the power of change. Because life is constantly changing. Nothing stays the same. And if you really want to experience something you never experienced before, guess what? Faith, confidence, and courage to walk in change. That's the only way you're going to be able to maintain it or walk in it.
Right.
How else you going to do it? I mean, like you just explained your side based upon what you've gone through. I explained what I've gone through. Guess what? We're all human. And we all need to manage our spirit, manage our thoughts, and do the things that make us better. And the only way to do it is, to me, according to, in my opinion, faith, confidence, and courage. No, it ain't an opinion. It's a fact.
Yes. You're right.
It's a fact. Because, it's so sad. Sometimes people think that, and what I'm about to say, I'm just being honest. Sometimes people think that money, houses, cars, education is the end to all things, and all things being, material things is everything. That's what some people think. But what about your inward person? What about your mind and your heart and your spirit? People got all this glam on the outside, but people are walking around with impoverished minds, souls, and spirits. If we really want to be something great, then we need to glam up our spirit, glam up your mind, glam up your soul with good things, inspirational things.
Absolutely, 100%.
Work on ourselves. Because as long as we are on this earth, that's what we should be doing. And if you're not working on yourself, that means you don't love yourself. Your mind and your heart and your spirit is valuable. It's extremely valuable. Not your breasts, not your butt, not your clothes, not your car. Yeah, that's external stuff that help us to enjoy life. But your heart and your mind and your spirit is valuable. And those are the parts you should be taking care of first. There's nothing wrong with having all the external stuff. There's nothing wrong with it if you have the right attitude as well. But the key factor is this. The mind and the heart and the spirit, guess what? That's where real wealth is. That's real wealth.
Well, everything else can come and go.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
You can make and lose money. You can, work on your health and fitness and look better sometimes than others. But you will always be who you are on the inside, regardless of what you have on the outside.
That's right. That's right.
That's the only thing that is with you always.
Yes, indeed. Well said. That is the only thing that is with you always. And I just hope that somebody is inspired and encouraged, because this podcast was created to inspire people. I care about inspiring people. I don't want to sit here and talk about the things that are vain. And it's okay, other genres, a podcast, they do their thing and it's all fun and good. But for me personally, I care about people. I want people to be prosperous. I care about how people treat one another. I care about the fact that there is a little girl somewhere across the world. She's trying to figure out how to be a successful person. And guess what? She can be successful. We all can be successful. But success starts with the heart. Success starts with the right thoughts. And then all of that spills over into the right actions. If we can mistreat one another and have no type of conviction, that means there's a heart issue. If we can lie and cheat and deceive and flatter the next person with no conviction, there's a heart issue. And if you really want to see change, and if you really want to walk in the power of change, then guess what? Examine those things in your mind and your heart. Examine those thoughts, because thoughts being maintained to be positive and good, as you practice those things each day, you'll have success. It's a guarantee. Everything starts in our thought life. So, Jackie, this topic is pretty deep to me, because I want more change in my life, and everything I say, I am applying these steps. I'm applying what I say, and it's important. So, you have anything else you want to share?
No, I took lots of notes. I hope I wasn't making noise while I was writing. I took lots of notes while you were talking.
No. I'm
gonna pray and make my plan.
Absolutely. And you know what? You will have your podcast. You will, and you will do well, and you will be successful, and you will speak with absolute boldness, humor, and sweetness. You will. So, listeners, I thank you so much for taking the time to listen to SB Favorite Thinking Podcast. Everybody that's listening to this, make sure you send good vibes and good energy and a good spirit to Jackie, that she will have a good podcast.
Thank you.
So, listeners, I thank you. I thank you. I appreciate you. If you need to reach me, you can reach me at sbfavorite@yahoo.com via email. You can also find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at sbfavor. I have a TikTok as well. I'm not dancing over there, but I do have inspirational content. I have a YouTube channel. Please click like, leave me some feedback, and click the bell, subscribe. And if you click the bell, you will receive a notification each time there's a new episode of SB Favorite Thinking Podcast. Once again, I want to remind you, if you would like to donate to the podcast, you can donate at $ at SB Favor on Cash App. I appreciate your donation. We are expanding, and I appreciate you, listeners. And make sure, like I said, send out that good energy, that good spirit, those prayers and everything to Jackie, because she will and is going to have a good podcast. So, thank you, listeners. You have a good day.